Hi guys, welcome back to Stargate Soul Intuitive. I'm the Archangel Messenger. Welcome back to this weekend, Saturday, Sunday weekend, Angel Astro Weather. This is Saturday, Sunday, August 22nd, August 23rd, 2026. Let's see what the divine has for you. And what if the divine isn't asking you to be stronger this weekend, but simply asking you to receive more love? And because I gotta tell you, something unusual has been happening to me. And I've been seeing 1111. I've been seeing 22. I've been seeing 33 and 44 everywhere. And when I kept seeing those numbers, I stopped and asked myself, okay, angels, what are you trying to tell me? And the feeling that I received was pay attention. And what message or what gift of love is divine bringing you this weekend? So I have a feeling that somebody watching this right now really needs to hear that they don't have to carry everything alone. So welcome back, beautiful souls. This weekend, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're looking at the energy for Saturday and Sunday as one beautiful weekend message. I am working with the Power of Love, beautiful oracle deck by the James Van Prague. I will pull 3 cards, and out of these 3 cards that I choose, each one will represent a different doorway into the message. So before we begin, let's all just kindly close our eyes, take a deep breath in through our nose, put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly if that feels right, and simply ask, what message of love am I ready to receive? Exhale out. And just allow whatever you receive today, allow the messages to unfold, and whatever comes through, just jot it down, don't judge it, don't force it. And I feel like maybe come Monday, you'll have this aha moment saying, wow, Saturday brought this, Sunday brought this. So, these numbers that keep finding me, I gotta tell you, because I've been seeing 11, 22, 33, 44 all day. Now, I don't want to get caught up in explaining what these numbers are supposed to mean. I just want to tell you what they feel like to me and what I need to tell you that I'm being guided from the angels. So 11, I'm hearing wake up. So maybe write that down. Number 11, wake up. I'm also hearing like pay attention to what your soul is noticing when you wake. 22, you're not building this alone. Something is being created through a partnership, a support, maybe this divine timing. 33, lead with compassion, because someone may need your kindness more than they need your answer right now. And 44, you are supported even when you can't see what's holding you up. And when I put these 4 messages together, I totally hear wake up, pay attention, build with love, lead with compassion, and remember that you are supported. And this feels very connected to this weekend's energy, because I have to say, the sun is in Leo. We're at the very end of the Leo energy, and I'm feeling like a very strong message around our self-worth, not our ego, not proving ourselves, not getting everyone to recognize your value, but just knowing like, I know who I am. And the question isn't like, do they see my worth? The question is, do I? So maybe jot that down, self-worth. Do I? Question. Do I know who I am? Do I? So, when you're looking at your self-worth. And the moon in Sag is still in this void of course today. It does stay in there till 1:58 p.m. It's like Pacific Standard Time for me. So I actually love this for this reading because this void of course moon can actually feel like a pause between our chapters. So if you're writing a book or if you're reading a book, it's like a simple pause between the chapters. It's like this moment where you're not supposed to force the very next thing. So just feel like if something just feels uncertain this weekend, don't panic. Just, you may just simply be between the energies. You know, you have the Rondite, which is all full of love, and you have the divine guidance guiding you the way. So I want love, and the divine angels are saying, I want to give you what's best for your highest and best. So you could be between those energies. And just pause, breathe, listen, because you don't have to make every decision immediately this weekend. And we have a Saturn in Aries. This is something I really needed to talk about because this is where this came in so strongly. And I wanted to remind everyone because this is really about our tests of our character. There's a collective lesson that's happening around us all about how we respond when things aren't so easy. And I know we have all these challenges that we face, whether it's money, family, work, health, you know, getting the grocery shopping. We have repairs on our house, our car, you know, maybe people we work with, or, you know, the jobs we're looking for, maybe the schools we're looking for to get into, to those colleges, getting into school, getting the right teachers, the right classes. So there's a lot. And then those are challenges. But there's always, the divine always brings us a gift. And I always believe that. So do we become defensive, okay, when there's this collective lesson that's happening around us on, you know, how we respond when things aren't easy? When this happens, do we become defensive? Do we become impatient? Do we shut down? Or do we choose compassion, right? Do we choose compassion? Can we disagree without destroying? I would say yeah. And I would say yes, we can choose compassion. Can we be strong without being cruel? Absolutely, we can. Can definitely be strong without being cruel. And can we set boundaries without closing our hearts? Yes. And we can ask for help. We can offer help because this is what feels truly big this weekend. And I'm bringing the Power of Love cards by the James Van Praagh, who's going to really pull the power of love together. What is activating love? What is activating in your life? What the angels and Archangel Cassiel is bringing the energy for you. Because I mostly feel Archangel Cassiel is bringing the energy of being patient, having that wisdom to know, wisdom to feel, the messages about having that patience and not reacting off being rash, just waiting, breathing, and then speaking what you want to speak, having that endurance and that quiet strength, not the kind of strength that shouts, I can do everything myself, but the deeper kind that just simply says, I can pause, I can breathe, I can feel, I can choose. Because Cassiel's message this weekend feels like you're not being punished by the pause. You're being given this space right now to just simply understand. And that's kind of where Cassiel is going with this. This is where the angel astro weather is. This is where I feel it's more leading am being guided to. So I'm going to place our Rondite, expanding our love and our divine guidance here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these 3 cards here that I have from James Van Praagh. And we're going to let the cards tell us exactly what this weekend energy wants us to know. You already know what the angel astro weather is, so let's find out what the cards have to say. Now, the card 1 is, what message of love is coming towards you? What message of love is coming towards you? So just take a moment. When I turn this over, just really look at the card, feel the word, and then ask yourself in your heart, where is this showing up in my life? Harmony. The word is harmony. You're able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. I think that that's probably really calling everybody right now, with people, places, things, situations, and stuff. I feel like this is definitely a message of love that is coming toward you, because when you are at peace of all things, love flows with more gratitude, more love, more abundance in aspects of all ways, of all relationships and all ways. Our second card is, what are you being asked to understand? And this could be simply the lesson behind something that you're currently experiencing. And don't judge this, just simply listen, okay, guys? Freedom. Now remember, I said don't judge it, and just simply listen. Freedom doesn't mean you're running away from your dog, you're not running away from your kids, you're not running away from your parents, you're not running away from your spouse. This is the freedom of releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness. So that's the freedom of where this is coming from. It's not about leaving the relationship, leaving the marriage, leaving the partnership, leaving your work. It doesn't have anything to do with that. This is the freedom of releasing any self-imposed. So this is something that you've created upon you. And this is definitely the lesson. Like, what are you being asked to understand? So ask your heart, ask yourself, where does this relate for me that I have been not releasing anything that I've had self-imposed on myself, these restrictions. I've put these restrictions, I've perceived about myself, put these limitations, and created this block of love instead of creating this open, loving energy to open in my heart. So just feel in that. And don't forget, we have card number 1, we have card number 2, and this is our card number 3. Our card number 3 is, what gift of love is the divine bringing you? And this is the one that I really want you guys to really feel, because sometimes the greatest gifts don't arrive looking like it's actually like gift in a box. You know, you get a gift, and you get a box and you have this gift inside, like, oh, I just love that, it's what I wanted, I wanted this for my birthday or for Christmas. So it's not such as that. So because the greatest gifts don't always arrive like gifts, sometimes they just simply arrive like a change. It could be a really good change, it could be a goodbye of a bad habit, a bad pattern, something bad, like you had something that was in your past that keeps triggering you. Maybe you lost a loved one, and every time you turn down this street, it brings all this anger or sadness, and it just changes that. There's this goodbye of, okay, I'm at peace now. I understand it. They're at peace. They have nothing but love for me. I have sending them love and light. I'm okay. I'm moving on. And I know that love never dies and grief has no time limit. So, it's moment to moment, and it's one day at a time, a day at a time. So things can arrive as a change, as a goodbye like that. It could be simply, I can't have dairy anymore. I have celiacs. I can't eat this type of food. So maybe I can't go to bed at 10 o'clock anymore because I just need 10 hours of sleep, not 8. So it could be simply like goodbye short sleep, goodbye not having enough water. So there's changes. How about a boundary? How about a boundary around perhaps you really need that time and space to meditate. And sometimes you could be in a relationship and you've got children and they're running around, you just have no space and no time and no quiet time. Do you have a bathroom with a tub? Take your pillow, take your headphones, and don't turn on the water. Just take your pillow and go in there and lock the door and just climb in the tub and meditate in there. It is like, hey, I'm going to be in here for a little bit. Do not knock on the door. This is my time and space. And just meditate in there with the pillow. You got your music. And you can come out in 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever have you. And you will feel refreshed. You will feel peace. You'll feel like this new person, this great energy, uplifted, and just feeling the joy, the happiness, and the energy. And you got rid of whatever was controlling you that brought you home, that you brought home from work or people, places, things. So there could be a new person trying to show you something. Maybe there's technology. Maybe there's something you need to learn about how to do this on your car. Maybe something how to clean your carpets. Maybe there's something to show you how to draw or how to learn a new language. So there's different things that a new person is there to show you. Something that maybe you need to learn to make you a person that you're wanting to create about you. Something that maybe you weren't able to create about you at a past time, younger years. You were too busy taking care of everybody else. You put your heart on your sleeve. You give it your all to everybody else. And now this is your time. Kind of like a cancer. Cancers, they nurture everyone. They take care of everyone. And then they're the last ones to receive the beautiful healing and taking care of themselves. So that's like that boundary, this new person coming in to help you. And the second chance to do up this great, budget at home, saving money, maybe fixing things around the house, maybe, creating your soul's journey, where you want to go in your soul's journey. What do you want to be creating? Where do you want to be in 5-10 years from now? Where do you want your kids? Where do you want, your life to be? That moment of clarity, or just simply peace. So it could be that simple. And I feel like this card says it all. Empathy. Wow. You feel and understand the emotions of another, and service of love. So if you resonate with this card, if you know that you are empathic, you feel things for those. Maybe you are a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a healer, maybe you're a massage therapist, you're a counselor, but you bring healing. You bring healing to those. You feel into those emotions of others, what's happening. Maybe you're a giver of those less fortunate, giving those less fortunate opportunities to get back on their feet again. So there's a lot that says with this card. There's a lot of healing, a lot of creativity, a lot of passion and love, and reminding you, Cassiel's reminding you to speak your truth, staying in your heart, trusting your inner light. And we are definitely focusing on our amethyst and our lapis lazuli for our Leo and our Sagittarius energy. But our biggest challenge right now this weekend is maybe reacting before we understand, like when we're hurt, when we protect ourselves, when we're afraid, when we sometimes push people away, when we're overwhelmed. We may forget that the other person or the other people are carrying things too. We forget that. So before you react, just pause and ask, what is really happening here? And then ask your heart, can I respond with love without abandoning myself? And then listen to what your heart says. Listen to what your guides and your angels and God Source says. And I feel most what our greatest gift this weekend is the quiet strength, the ability to really remain centered. I'll borrow this for a moment. Our grounding stone. So really feel centered. And feeling centered, like everything around you, when everything around you feels uncertain, definitely feeling grounded. And knowing the wisdom to know when to speak, when to listen, when to act, when to simply wait. Because a lot of times someone will be speaking and you want to answer before that is done, but wait that 3 seconds, breathe, when they're done saying it, just think in your 1, 2, 3, and then start speaking. Because sometimes we're not actively listening all the way. We assume we know what that ending sentence is going to be. We're all guilty of it. We're all human. We're all not perfect. We all do it at times. So just have that wisdom to know this weekend when to speak, when to listen, when to act, when to simply wait. Because Archangel Cassiel is saying this weekend, patience is not the weakness. Sometimes patience is actually the strongest thing that you can choose. And our collective message from the angels and the power of love cards is this weekend isn't asking you to fix everybody, okay? It's not asking you to save everyone either. It's not asking you to sacrifice yourself to prove that you love someone. It's not asking you to do that. I know sometimes we can get caught up doing that. We'll sacrifice something that we're trying to do for ourselves. We're sacrificing something that we really want to do to prove that you love someone. And they're not asking for that. But you're thinking in your mind. The mind loops around that, wondering, should I? And it's just judging, and it goes around and around the ideas. But it's asking for something much more beautiful. Just have compassion. Be supportive. Be understanding. Have that patience, that forgiveness, and unconditional love with healthy boundaries. Not just regular boundaries, but healthy ones. Because unconditional love doesn't mean you're accepting everything. It just means you're choosing love without losing yourself. Our crystals today is our lapis lazuli. This is for our truth and our wisdom. And this is definitely going to help with our intuition, our communication, and speaking from the heart. So definitely use your lapis lazuli. You can also use your amethyst if you have one. And these crystals, if you don't have them, you can simply come back to the video and hone in on these stones and breathe in and breathe out. Use them with intention. But the lapis lazuli, definitely write this down. What truth is my soul ready to acknowledge? What truth is my soul ready to acknowledge? And then just listen to what your heart says. with this amethyst, this is going to bring you some peace, a spiritual connection, really connecting to understanding about the lesson, and not only just the lesson, but creating that space between emotions and reactions. So place it near you this weekend when you need to really slow yourself down, because sometimes the energy can be so fast, especially with a moon in Sagittarius. Things are always very fast. We have, this Aries energy and this Aries energy as well, I must say, is very fast. So things can come out very fast, very rash, very harsh if you're not careful. So you have to really be careful and just really watch your love language speaking, be peaceful, that spiritual connection, and just really create that space between emotion and reaction. It will do wonders for you for this weekend. And I would love to hear back in the comments how maybe this had helped you. I'm hoping that these had helped you this weekend with your relationships on all levels. And try to wear some colors like this weekend to help bring in that frequency of truth, wisdom, emotional calm, transformation, spiritual connection to the higher realms, and that higher perspective by wearing like some deep blue. And you can mix it with like some purple, some violet. So you can do that. You can even add some black, some brown for grounding. You can definitely do that. And you can just wear this and think about feeling that you're being held in this peaceful, protective field with the shield. And that's what Cassiel says. But Saturday's message definitely feels like pause. Don't force it, don't chase it, don't react. Just listen, let the energy settle. And Sunday really feels like it's all about receiving day. Receive the answer, receive the support, receive the kindness, receive the love, and maybe receive something that's been trying very hard to create all by yourself. So my channel message to everyone here is, you've spent enough time and a lot of time believing that you must carry everything alone. I'm guilty of that as well. But you're allowed to receive, you're allowed to rest, you're allowed to ask for help, you're allowed to forgive, and you're allowed to love again. And you're allowed to choose. You are allowed to choose peace over explaining why. The signs that you keep noticing are reminders to really pay attention. And remember, not everything needs an immediate answer. Not every door needs to be forced open. So some blessings are already moving towards you. So just be patient, be compassionate, be gentle with yourself and with others, and just allow. And remember, you're supported by a love far greater than you can see. And I just want to thank everyone for spending this beautiful sacred space with me for this weekend message. If something in this reading really touched your heart, please don't forget to leave a like. I love to receive likes. I like to receive comments. If you share, that would be awesome. And definitely subscribe. And I want to tell you, remember, tell me, what gift of love are you ready to receive? Is it forgiveness? Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's a new beginning, support, or is it simply love? Whatever it is, write it in the comments, guys. Because let's create this beautiful space where we can actually support one another in the comments, because you never know who's going to read that comment that may really need to read your message today, and you're going to uplift that person's heart today and change their whole world. Okay, so have a beautiful weekend, beloved souls. Remember, be gentle with yourself, be compassionate with others, and never forget you are loved, supported, and never truly alone. Until next time, keep following the light. Bye, guys.